Hi guys, and welcome back for another F1 Clash video by myself, Azza WF1. As always, thank you so much for the continued support on the channel. It's going from strength to strength every time I upload, and I'm getting some great feedback as well. So thank you very much, keep on subscribing, and as always, any comments, please leave them in the videos and I will always reply and get back to you. So that moves us on to today's video, and obviously in my previous videos you would have seen that I joined the #1 F1 Clash club. So these were a club called Blue Flags. They are a tremendous dedicated family of F1 Clash players who simply want to go from strength to strength and have the #1 club out there. And today, with help from Blue Flags, I can give you a sneak peek as to what gives them the edge over most clubs, your clubs or anyone's clubs. And by me giving you this sneak peek will also probably provide you with ideas that you might want to copy, or you might want to think, oh, actually, we should do that. So really, this video is a big tip on what you can do in your club to progress further up them divisions and leagues. So first of all, let's have a look where we are in Blue Flags this month so far. So we're about 10 days in. We're on 3.36 million with Black Sails and Tribes behind. So just for our league at the moment, it's just a race between us and Black Sails. And then the overall leaderboard will get refreshed so we can see where we are against the rest of the world. Okay, so 3.3 million. Let's have a look who we've got in ours currently. So big shout out to Lightning, who's up there at 144,000. Stinky Pinky, 129,300. Mission Minnow's up there, 122,000. And we've got King Bass on there at 119,000 as well. Okay. We'll show off King Bass's medals. I've also been told Corrupt's got some lovely medals, and tell you what, you can check that out for some. He's got more gold than the Egyptians. So let's have a look then at what we do as a club and how you can use this tip, or just simply watch what we do. And this will bring you onto a set of graphs. So let's kick it off. So Blue Flags, what they do each weekend, you obviously play a Grand Prix, or a GP as we like to call it. And what they do every weekend is they collate the final positions of that GP and they plot it into a graph. So what they'll do is they might look at my flag count. So let's say I'm at 5,800, so I'm on the green flag count. And what they'll do is they'll actually drop down the top 10 positions and they'll note down what final score you needed to finish in that position. And that leads us on to the graph that you can now see. So you can see if you was on green 5,000 flags and you was in the North American region, you would have needed 277 points to get 10th, all the way up to 348 points for first. Now, you can also see that if you are high flags, you need 376 points just to even get 10th. That's why the videos come in about lowering your flags is key, which if you do not seen it already, you can check that out on my channel already. But what this does is it gives you an indication each week of what potential points you're going to require the following week to get maybe a P1 or a P2 or a P3. It's not 100% bulletproof. Now, as you can imagine, if there is a team event involving Series 12 drivers, you're going to start scoring a lot more points that weekend. So that will change. And it's the same if there's wet weather. If there's more wet weather than usual, then them scores might go up or down, and depending on the track. If you've got 10 really hard tracks to overtake, naturally the points are going to be lower. If you've got 10 tracks that are easier to overtake, the points are going to be higher. But what it does is it gives you the edge over everyone else. Whereas before, me and you might just go into a GP and think, yeah, we'll just score as much as we want. I'll see where I finish. And you're hoping by waking up the next day that you're suddenly in that P1 or P2 position. Whereas the Blue Flags family, on the data that they collect, they can see already that, I don't know, I've scored 348 points finishing first in the 5,000 flags range, as you can see. But they already know that probably next week that's got to go up even further. That might have to go up a few points. So it does set and give you the edge over any other club that you're against. You're knowing what you're going to get. You're knowing how much you might have to grind out them scores in duels if you want to get a bit more reputation points. And it simply just works out where your team is. Now, if I'm getting 350 points a week, they already know what my score is going to be each week. So they can easily calculate what the sort of total tally of the team's going to be. And we'll bring you on to this next graph as well, which I'll just pull up right now. So you can see in this graph now, this is the 5,800 flags graph. Now, I'm at 5,855, so this is basically me, and this is my scores as well from my GP group. So you can see a difference between NA and EU in terms of scoring. So if you're in EU, you have to score less points than NA, which is North America, in every position apart from the first one. Now, there's a big jump to 364 in that EU range. So last week I scored 326 points in second place for EU, but there's a massive jump to P1. So already you can see that that's pretty much out of reach for me at the moment. But this is the data that they collect that helps, and it makes the whole club visualise what they need. Sometimes you might think that's a bit OTT, but or if you don't know what OTT means, it means over the top. But what you've got to remember is Blue Flags for the last 2 months have been the number one club out there. So if you want your club to be doing well and you have aspirations to be in the top 10, the top 5 clubs on F1 Clash, you need to start thinking of ways to give you the edge. If you're just sitting there playing races, you're not going to compete with the likes of Blue Flags or Black Sails or Hunters. You're just not going to. So this game is all about giving your club members the very best possible chance of amazing scores at the weekend. And if you start doing that for every GP, every weekend, you're going to build up a massive picture of the exact scores you require to make that next step. Okay? So it is a case of collecting the facts from all your team, knowing where they finished, knowing what points they needed, and you can build that picture and start rising that table. Obviously, that's a sneak peek into what the Blue Flags family do. Obviously, we do our own views as well, and I'll bring you different tips every week, every month, depending on discussions with the team as well. But that's something to take away. Take away that you can have possible chances of getting the edge over your opponent's clubs by thinking outside the box. Okay, so thanks guys for listening. Also, thanks for the Blue Flags for letting me share this detail with you. It is very high detail. However, if you want to be the best, you've got to think not like the rest. Okay, remember, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.